Good morning. Um, kind of like this setting. Makes me a little bit more comfortable. I think in the past I've tried different things and it doesn't really work. So hopefully I'm appearing like I'm more fresh with a cup of Milo. Um, so what are we going to talk about today? So I want to call it out that one of the challenges that we always have, and observation, and this is a real thing that happened at work. I'm going to talk about it without calling out names. Is we have a new director of product management. Yeah, I think that's her title. And basically, I talked to people that worked with her, and she is, the words that I hear from the people that work with her is that she's a bully. So what does it mean to be a bully at work? It comes down to that she's pushing for things that other people are not comfortable with. We work in a team environment, and we're used to having a conversation, talk about it, and then make the right choice. But right now, it's all her decision. It's all her choice, and she is working behind the scenes. Maybe not, but it comes across as that she's working the executive. She's working, people on top to get it on her side, and that's the perception that comes across. And I felt it too. I definitely felt it too, right? So we talk about product management. We talk about how, in Scrum or in Agile, there is the notion of the what and the how. Now, the what is where the product owner is kind of in control of. They give us the what, and the engineering group, right, the developers, is the how, and they figure out what's the best way to provide or produce the what. Now, in this instance, this individual is dictating. I'm going to use the word dictating. It's pretty strong. Dictating how we build software. Questioning the need of, maybe we should reduce testing in the pretense of time to market. And maybe we should change our process from what we believe is a step towards agile. I mean, for this group, it's definitely not there yet, right? But we're slowly trying to move there, of getting people together and talking, and stopping all that and saying, no, I don't want that to happen. I want a 6 weeks, a 3 spring development and then 2 springs of QA. Does that sound like agile to you? It does not to me. I mean, it sounds really waterfall, and this person says, oh no, it's Scrum, it's Scrum Bun. It's just, what Scrum Bun is there? There's nothing in there, Scrum Bun. Maybe that's not her intention, right? But to dictate that to the team without talking to the coach. And we have a coach that's working with her, and the coach is having a hard time working with her because of that. And if you are listening to this, and if you feel like I'm talking about you, then yes, I am talking about you. Maybe you don't realize it. So as I talk to the individuals that are involved in there, and people are telling me to stay away, my question is, why are we afraid to talk to her? I get upset because of what she did. I get upset of her stepping into what I deem as the engineering process, the engineering world, where she doesn't understand a bit of it. And in my mind, the perception is that, she's just trying to get the product out there the fastest. So she looks good. What about our brand? Do you care about the brain that we have today? You should care, right? Shouldn't you? I think so. So as I looked into the problem that we have, as I tried to figure out what's the best way to navigate the course, it dawned on me that the fact that this person is new, nobody actually, well, how do we solve this problem? So I sat down and I asked folks. I asked the people and say, what is the role of the director of product management? Simple question. What is the role? When we kick off teams, for Scrum teams, for Agile group, usually we talk about the roles. We talk about the engineers. We talk about the product owners. We talk about the Scrum masters. And sometimes not. Sometimes we forget to talk about the roles so that people understand what role each individual play. And oftentimes, that in itself causes stress. And I think that's the case. I think that's the case in this situation too, where we're confused or we don't understand our role, therefore we stress because somebody is encroaching on, on our zone, on our role. So what is the role of director of product management? And that's interesting enough. And I ask the questions to the individuals, when I say, hey, isn't that the role is the what? So the director of product management works with the product owner. So that's the strategy, right? They have the bigger picture, they have the roadmap, they control all that stuff, right? If they figure all that stuff, they work with the product owners and take it from a strategy standpoint and try to work it through technically. Create a backlog, working on a backlog, and then bring it in front of the engineers, developers. At that point, then they'll work through those and produce the work. Regardless of how engineering deliver the work, it should matter, right? And that shouldn't be up to the director of product management. Because guess what? It's not their realm. And in my mind, that's not their world. They should be focused on delivering the right product, the right feature to the client. Now you can question the speed of delivery. But if you're asking people to cut down quality just so we can ship the product, that doesn't sound right. I have been in those shoes before. I remember a long time ago doing similar things. And I struggled internally when I had to tell my QA folks, I'm sorry I'm cutting down your QA time because we need to ship. And in the end, it's that we did not ship a good product. There is a balance, I get it. But do you know what the balance is? You don't. I don't. It's just a feeling. It feels like we should cut it down. It feels like it's too much. But when the product gets shipped and there is bugs and there's client that found those issues, then what? Is it on you, the director of product management, that the quality is bad? No, at the end of the day, you're going to turn around and you're going to say, hey, Mr. Engineer, Miss Engineer, you didn't write your code properly. You didn't test properly. You failed. Are you willing to take it? Are you willing to say it's you? Are you willing to say that you are the one that's causing the product to be of lesser quality? So that's a question for you, Director of Product Management. So the clarity of roles. What is your role? What is the role of as a director of product management? What should you play? It is important to understand that role. I believe that in this instance, it's just not clear what the role is. And I believe the solution is to sit down and have a conversation and say, hey, here's the role of Director of Product Development. No, actually, Director of Product Management, sorry. Director of Product Management. You are to work with the rest of the organization to ensure that the product can be shipped. So you own the roadmap, you have the bigger picture, you talk to marketing folks, you talk to sales, you talk to all these key folks to ensure that they are ready. Not to dictate how a product is developed. So who should own that? Not you. And that should be over in engineering. So it may be the VP of engineering, the director of engineering, for example. That's where those responsibility lies. Because we need you to be focused on delivering the right thing. If you don't know what to deliver, we don't know what to build. We can build the wrong thing. And guess what? If we deliver the wrong thing, that's not good for any of us. So that's my thing for this week. That's my take for this week. I am more specific this week than I was last week. I tried to call out before. I think it's falling on deaf ears. But I'm not standing down. I'm not here to fight. What I'm trying to do is define the roles. What is the role of the Director of Product Management? So that's it, folks, for this week. That is what it's all about. We need to be clear in our roles. We need to make sure we define those roles. If you're not, you're going to have the same problem that we have. And it's not good. Everybody's stressed out. Both parties are stressing out about it. So sit down. The one thing that I learned from this is that when we bring somebody new, we don't assume. We need to sit down. Be part of the onboarding is definition of the role, the clarity of the role. What is your role and how do you play in this sandbox? So that's my thing for this week. Again, I'm loving these settings because I get a drink in my hand. Again, it's Milo, M-I-L-O. So folks, that's my morning. Hope it has some value to you. If it does, please click on like, please click on the comment, provide some comments as to your experience was, what is your experience with issues or stress stemming from the role not being defined or not being clear. Love to hear from you guys. If you guys love this forum, let me know. Again, that's what I have for this week. Bye.